Hello, beautiful, and welcome back. We're going to jump straight into Niles and Matilda, my favorite couple of the season. But first, I wanted to tell you that because of all your incredible support and helping this channel grow, we have been able to supply a single mom of 6 with the means to provide her kids with a Christmas this year. This would not have been possible without you guys, so thank you so much. You have blessed a family simply by watching my videos, and I can't tell you how much it means to me. So thank you again. Now let's get into this.
You need to talk to Mr. Ark for the knocking. You have to seek permission from him.
Ghanaian culture requires Niles' family to formally ask her family for her hand in marriage. But due to his family being against this marriage, he's going to ask the local elder to represent his family.
He's a tough man to please, and I hope Niles can handle himself.
Matilda is very nervous about this meeting. She knows that Mr. Ark is very strict and traditional, but in her opinion, he's also a little bit strange. They walk up and Mr. Ark appears very happy to see Niles, so Niles holds out his hand to shake his.
I reached out my right hand to shake Mr. Ark's right hand. Oh, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Did anyone else get flashbacks to Happy Gilmore?
Oh my God!
Yeah, turn him down and...
Niles is a little bit rattled over the hand. They sit down and he can't stop staring at it. Mr. Ark is very welcoming and happy to participate, but Niles is scared to death. He's sweating bullets, and I assumed at first it's because it was really hot outside, but nobody else is sweating.
I am gonna be asking you to represent me as my father in this marriage.
Mr. Ark is touched and happily accepts the responsibility of being his stand-in father, but he tells Niles that he has many things to discuss with him about the marriage first. Niles continues. They're going to do the knocking in a few days, and then the actual wedding has to take place later.
I will have to come back on the next trip.
You don't do that. That's a problem. I understand. It's just...
Well, we're going to do everything, whether you like it. I'm the father. I'm the father.
He tells Niles, I will never allow that. That wouldn't be done anywhere in Ghana. You will get married now or not at all. Niles tells him that he isn't ready to get married because he still wants to get to know Matilda, which is really dumb because why would you ask her to get married if you weren't ready? Mr. Ark tells him that the knocking really doesn't mean anything. It's customary, but anyone can still come along and marry her regardless of the knocking.
If that's the case, I don't know why Matilda's family approved us postponing the wedding.
It's a good point. The entire process is getting very confusing because Matilda and her family should be well aware of these things. And then there's the issue with them suddenly not having enough money for food when all along Matilda was planning for a wedding. It's not making sense to me.
I do have some things to ask you in private.
That's good.
That's good.
They walk off hand in hand. Niles reveals that he's very confused, and Mr. Ark comforts him, saying, it's okay, you're new to this country. You're not expected to know, but don't worry. I will talk to her family for you and make this arrangement.
I went to the family like my first day in Kumasi, and they...
Mr. Ark is disgusted that Niles did this. He says, this is so disrespectful to your father, aka me. Then it cuts to him telling us that this is strictly prohibited. I feel bad for Niles because he doesn't know this. He's been relying on Matilda to walk him through this process. Now I understand why she was so nervous. He tells Mr. Ark that they told him he needs to fork over all this money for food, and also he's supposed to buy all of her siblings gifts.
Matilda have nothing to say. Decide, go and buy this. No. We don't need anything.
Don't listen to women. They can be so deceitful. Our marriage custom is a simple one, not extravagant like what she told you.
Never once did I hear her say that I needed to have someone like Mr. Ark guide me through this process.
Niles is starting to feel a little bit bamboozled. Everything that Matilda told him was customary, he's now learning wasn't true. He says that trusting Matilda was a mistake. He recalls what his parents had to say about her taking advantage of him, and now he feels like Mr. Ark is repeating exactly what they said.
I'm beginning to think that there could be some truth to what they were worried about.
Mr. Ark brings Matilda and Niles into his home to meet his wife, and based on her body language, I'm gonna assume she knows she's in big trouble.
He should have brought you to me before going to... I told you.
I'm sorry.
You're saying that you're sorry.
Oh, no. I didn't want to believe that she was using him, but it's looking that way. Why is she in such a rush? And why was she lying about all these things? Niles says, Matilda, do you know how bad this makes both of us look? Then it cuts to Matilda saying he had to talk to her family because he postponed the wedding. How could he blame me? But that's not true. They shouldn't have even been planning a wedding, and she knows that.
You did. You told me that.
I'm asking about my family.
Yeah, nice.
Niles is really flustered and he's like, no, I told her I wanted a clear plan, a clear course of action, and she's been telling me to do all of these things that are getting us into trouble.
Now, as I say, whateverlinda,
So they're both upset, thinking that the other one is lying. I'm not sure what she is claiming that he's lying about. She definitely told him that he needed to fork over a bunch of money for food. So how is he lying? Am I missing something? Mr. Ark can see that they're both upset, so he's like, look, we can do this. We can handle it. We'll get it all done in one day. It's not going to be a big, grand, elaborate wedding, so let's make it happen.
I need to discuss some things with Matilda. And I need to ask her a few things as well.
They leave, and as soon as they're in the car, he's like, Matilda, the point of us meeting them was to ask if they could step in for my parents, right?
Matilda,
but let me answer me this question first.
Very eloquent with you.
Yes, let me answer this question.
Have I ever done anything wrong, Niles? Have I ever misled you? And he's like, well, I didn't think that you were, but now I'm kind of thinking that, yes, you are misleading me. She is getting so frustrated with him.
You disgrace me in front of Mr. Ark's place. I'm really, really embarrassed.
She's staring him down with daggers in her eyes. Then she tells us that she is infuriated because he told Mr. Ark that she was lying. But actually, Mr. Ark told him that you were lying.
Didn't I discuss with you?
It's like, yes, you did.
Okay, wait, Niles. What is happening? She discussed it with you? He goes, but you never told me how important it was.
You didn't tell me how important it was.
That's a lie.
Well, maybe I just don't remember everything you told me. And she's like, oh my gosh, you need to shut up. And he goes, well, why did you tell me it was supposed to be 90 people if it's really just supposed to be a small ceremony? And she goes, I have friends. My mom has friends. My uncle has friends. They need to come. It's not like I was asking for all this stuff.
Yes, you told me that. You said I need to give Charlotte 200 CDs, $200.
It's about the food.
I can't believe this, Niles. $200 is nothing. I can't believe you're complaining about that. And the whole reason I wanted all my friends to come was so that they could meet you because you don't have any friends here. I only did it for you.
What makes you think a big gathering like that would make me happy? I told you I'm not good in social situations.
Yeah. At this point, I was feeling pretty confident that she is trying to take advantage of him. She goes, did you ever discuss with me that you didn't want a large gathering? He's starting to get really upset. He has tried pushing back on Matilda about the number of people at the knocking when he talked to her brothers about it. And he said he wanted to downsize. And she said to him, I'm not downsizing anything.
It's like, as it is, I'm going to have to tell her to reduce her guest list as it is. Stop talking right this instant.
She doesn't stop. You disgrace me. I'm so depressed. You really disgraced me today. And it ends with Niles gnashing his teeth. Moving on. We're with Faith and this liability. They're out to eat. Awesome. I love watching Loren stuff his face.
It did look a little weird, but, tastes like Filipino goodness.
What's that?
And it's pretty good.
I've never had chicken intestines. I think I'm going to pass on any sort of intestines. The idea of eating the thing that holds all of your waste, it's not too appealing to me. She starts telling Loren that she had a great time hanging out with her sisters and they like him, but she's scared he's gonna cheat on her again.
I'm here only for you, in the whole Philippines, out of the whole world, and I do love you so much.
Out of the whole world, poor Faith was the only one who fell for this con who only cares about living in the Philippines. Faith is a means to an end. When is she going to wake up?
Am I still friend Loren, or could I be boyfriend Loren?
My boyfriend.
For real?
For real.
No! Now that Faith has made the huge mistake of taking him back, Loren proceeds to tell her his elaborate plan so they can get married and stay in the Philippines. Okay, so we're gonna go to Thailand and get married because same-sex is over there, like they love it. Then we can come back here, I can apply for citizenship, but I hate doing things the legal way, so maybe I can just marry someone else here and get citizenship that way.
I know you don't want me to marry some other woman. What if I just marry your mom?
We wouldn't be like married just on paper. Then I can live with you guys, and then...
Yes,
I know. We can all live together.
I know your story. No need to more explanation. I understand.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Faith, what are you waiting for? Kick him to the curb, please. It cuts to Faith saying, I can't believe he just said that. It's crazy.
It makes me feel like he cares more to stay in the Philippines instead of marry me.
Yes, It's the next day, and Faith has decided that their last day in Leyte will be spent playing karaoke with her family. She gives him like melon with, was it a shrimp paste or like a fish paste? I can't remember, but he didn't like it. She should have just left the peel on the fruit, then he would have liked it. They ask, what is the current status of the relationship? And I was expecting Faith to announce that they are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. But instead, Loren jumps right in to say that he has a plan for him to stay.
But to play a job here is so hard.
Everyone always tells me it's so hard to find a job here.
But it won't be hard for me. I have so much experience doing all kinds of jobs. I can work the corner. I can work a glory hole. I'm down for anything. The family is clearly not impressed, so Faith tells them it's getting late and they have a flight to catch, so it's time to go. But not so fast!
Did you tell your mom the plans? Or no? It's complicated.
Oh my gosh, it was so awkward. It was so hard to watch, especially with everyone's demeanor. And I know he can read a room. He just doesn't care.
In Thailand, we could legally get married and come back to the Philippines. I would marry Faith's mom.
He is so excited to share his brilliant plan. Faith is embarrassed to be translating this. Her big sister and her mom are mortified to be hearing this. In fact, the mom just starts laughing it off and says this has to be a joke.
Pero naku di ko gunahan. Nga. Apil pa ko sila raguduha.
Hell no!
It cuts to Faith telling us that she feels pressured by Loren. He is pushing her to marry her mom, and it's weird. He just met them. They're not even engaged yet.
But my dream is also to live in the Philippines. If we don't come up with a plan, then I don't know if that's possible.
Moving on. We're picking up with Vanja and Bozo. She has just stormed out of the restaurant after Bozo told her to spend the rest of the trip by herself.
I was 100% played a fool.
Bozo's friends are saying, she's amazing, what's wrong with you? Gigantor says, would you like her to come back right now?
Guys, I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I'm so sorry that I don't feel it.
He's like, what am I supposed to do? I can't change how I feel. By the way, I asked you guys to leave your comments down below about your experiences with the long distance relationships and what it was like meeting the person for the very first time. The responses were totally mixed, all the way from sparks were flying, it was incredible, to we knew right away it wasn't gonna work out and we ended it right there. The responses were very divided, so I can't fault him for feeling how he does.
Maybe just giving that courtesy of 3 weeks, just kind of giving it a go.
I know.
So they're telling him to spend the rest of the trip with her, get to know her, and he's like, you guys, I'm so sorry. And they're like, don't apologize to us, go apologize to her.
Vanya,
Just don't talk to me.
can I just...
No, just don't talk to me, Bozo.
I think she really wanted him to chase her down. Otherwise, she wouldn't have just been standing right out front of the restaurant this entire time. And I'm pretty sure that is what she was doing because she turns around to see if he's still following behind her. And when she realizes that he stopped, she stops too.
When
Thank
you
you.
calm
Thank
down,
you.
we will talk,
No,
hopefully.
we're good.
Otherwise,
We're good.
God bless you all best. God bless you.
He's over it. He just walks back into the restaurant and she remains standing there crying like, dang it, I didn't want him to really leave. Production's like, oh, do you want to still talk to him? And she's like, no, as she continues searching for him over her shoulder.
I came to the point, like, it was a little bit, maybe too much for me.
He continues explaining and confirming what all of us thought, and that's that she came on really strong. He felt like she was forcing him to love her, and it scared him away.
Hurting Vanya like this, I don't know if I will ever forgive me.
I don't know, you guys. He seems genuinely sorry, like if you watch the whole thing, but I'm not sure. It's a new day. Vanya is outside sipping on juice, telling us she bawled her eyes out all night because Bozo just pulled the rug out from right under her feet. She shares with us a voice note from him that she says is very confusing.
I would like to invite you on friendly lunch.
He said a friendly lunch, and then he said, I appreciate you as a friend. What are you confused about? Naturally, she's the first one to arrive, even though she claims she wants to cuss him out. Bozo tells us that he still feels terrible and wants to try and clear the air, so things are left on a nice note.
What was the purpose of me coming here if this wasn't to pursue a relationship?
He's already told her that after meeting her in person, his feelings weren't the same. What do you want him to do?
We said, I love you, and then you said, well, let's come over to...
I never said love you and stuff, but
Yeah,
I
you
was...
did.
He's like, no, I didn't. If you want, check the messages. So it cuts to them in a joint interview, and she's reading through the messages.
Thank you, my love. I love you. And I said, oh, we agree there too, and I love you too.
Why is he laughing? He goes, well, yeah, that does sound like me. Obviously, it means I love you. I'm like, what? What is wrong with you?
And when I realized, like, I don't feel chemistry and you feel all this stuff, I was crushed.
Why couldn't he just start with that instead of playing all these semantic games? She asked him, when did you realize that the feelings weren't there? Was it when I got off the plane? Was it when we were at the cooking class?
I felt overwhelmed with you.
So I scared you.
I think he's trying to spare her feelings. He doesn't want to insult her any more than he already has, but she keeps asking for more details.
All I hear is just an excuse because you didn't even give us a chance. You shut it down immediately on day one.
I don't understand what she's doing. He doesn't like you. Quit trying to force him to like you. He tells her he wants to remain friends with her forever because he does care about her. And she's like, no, I don't want to be friends.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that. Thank
Always
you so
will
much.
be there for you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
They hug each other goodbye and part ways. I think they made it 2 episodes in before he dumped her. Moving on. Oh my gosh, we're with this idiot. And look, there's Magda. Magda with a D.
Magda or Magda?
I don't know.
He doesn't know his girlfriend's name. She has definitely noticed. She says he messes up her name all the time, but she doesn't care because she's in love. They get to their little Airbnb, and I have to say that I absolutely love that the appliances are hidden as a cupboard. I hate the metal-looking appliances, stainless steel, which is what I have. I don't like it. I think that the wood looks so much more luxurious.
Yeah, I can sleep here, you can sleep there.
What?
But then how am I gonna weasel my way into your hot box? He's extremely disappointed, looking at the camera like, great. Then she says she wants to lay down and take a nap.
I know she really does want this. I mean, what am I gonna do?
Joe can't believe it. He thought she would change her mind. If we're not smashing, what are we gonna do with ourselves? What else is there? After her nap, he shows her the matching shoes that he bought for them and says, let's go get a drink. She orders a shot of cherry vodka and appears to hate it. I'm sure that disappointed him because the only chance he has is if she is sauced.
Am I really gonna have to sleep in another room?
Yes, you idiot. She tells him for the 100th time she wants to wait. Oh my gosh, first it was Renee, then Loren, then Brian, and now this guy. He's like, it's just wild to me that she's in such a rush to get married and have kids but doesn't want to get intimate.
How can she be ready for all that without knowing if we're physically compatible?
Compatible? You have an outie, she has an itty. Congratulations, you're compatible. Just give it up, you frickin' pig. It's the next day.
I didn't love waking up separately.
I don't care that your wiener is lonely. Just shut up.
I want to have sex until propose, maybe.
Why do you want to marry this loser? He's a loser. I don't even care if she's using him for a green card. This scumbag deserves it.
What if we're not sexually compatible?
Is that the most important thing?
It's pretty important.
What do you mean? If anything, she's wondering if you're good in bed. It rides on the man. If he doesn't know what to do, that usually dictates if it's good or bad. It's just, oh my gosh, it's just such a stupid excuse.
First she said we're gonna wait for a couple months. Now I have to wait for an engagement for us to have sex.
Okay, so their entire story is gonna focus on this. They just continue going on and on. He's trying to convince her to basically do it right now. It's super annoying, so let's fast forward.
I want to know exactly about everything with him cheating on me.
This is also part of the reason she wants to wait. She wants to make sure that he is just as serious about her as he is about getting off. Also, her last boyfriend cheated on her, so she really needs to know that sex is not the most important thing to him, and he is failing.
The next day. Today, Magda has a very cute, quaint day planned of pretzel making.
Joe is hoping that a good time together will change her mind about being intimate with him. But first, he needs to remind her that he's still thinking about being intimate.
I'm excited to pop my over junkie cherry today.
He starts rolling the dough into balls, and he's like, oh, these are nice balls. And Magda is getting more and more irritated. It's like, okay, dude, she gets it. She knows. We all know. Just shut up.
It's a nice sized penis. This grow up, Magda.
All right, so he knows he's being obnoxious. So why isn't he stopping? Not only that, but everyone can hear him. She's super embarrassed, and he won't stop. Oh my gosh, I'm in such a bad mood with this guy. And we still have to talk about Brian. Ugh, this sucks. Everyone sucks. Hey, D-Man, I don't care that everyone was getting offended that you wanted to slap this cast. Can you please slap this man? After dropping his dough onto the ground, he spins it into a heart, and Magda is so touched because he's so romantic. But then she tells us that she has to discuss some things with him. She's still not feeling right about the cheating, so they head off to go vodka tasting, and after Joe alone drinks all the vodka, Magda is looking really down. It kind of looks like she's trying not to cry, and he notices.
What you did with girl, it really broke me.
She's bearing her heart, and he's just smiling. Not a big deal. He says, in my defense, I didn't even know we were together, which is crap. She says, I put a ring on my finger so everyone knew that I was taken.
So nobody comes to me.
You didn't tell me you did that.
Yeah, but I did.
He also told us in his introduction that as soon as he met her, he got off all the dating apps and blah, 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 blah.
It is crazy to think about her being that committed without meeting a person or...
What are you smoking? She's been telling you this entire time. She wants to get married. She wants to have kids. Huh?
I did tell you. I didn't lie about it.
I asked about that.
Maybe she's a good actress, but she looks genuinely hurt to me. She asks him, what month was it that you hooked up with this girl? And he says, I don't know, I can't remember. She's like, you're always talking about sex this, and now you're telling me that you can't remember the last time you had sex?
You tried to buy me flowers on my birthday, and before that, you another girl.
And as she's saying all this, he's still smiling. She is really looking defeated at this point, so she asks him, are there any more girls? Which he says no to, but I don't believe him. She's very upset, and he just doesn't want to make it worse.
I try to believe and trust, but it's just hard after all of it.
It's their first day together, and she's already crying. Moving on! We're with Ingrid and this sorry excuse of a man who's feeling really bad for himself because Ingrid said she doesn't want to be his mother.
It just kind of makes me feel concerned. It's like, what if? I can't count on her.
Poor Brian. If this young hot Brazilian doesn't put in his catheter for him, what's he gonna do? Brian has taken Ingrid to meet one of his good friends, Brian, who he feels comfortable talking to whenever he's facing hard times. Brian number 2 tells us that Brian number 1 has always had a very easy time meeting women.
Handsome looking guy, he's got a great story to tell, but I just want him to find the right one.
The two Brians are speaking back and forth in English, which she doesn't know. Since they're both named Brian, I'm just going to call this one Scumbag so you guys can follow the story. Scumbag tells this nice gentleman that they aren't staying in the same hotel right now. Oh, and his current wife, Fran, is refusing to go to the court hearings, so his divorce isn't finalized. I guess Ingrid already knew this information because she doesn't seem bothered. If anyone cares, Mary Pants on Instagram spilled all the tea on Brian. He is harassing his current wife and is actually the one refusing to divorce her.
Passei 3 vezes nessa.
Quantas, Brian?
Oops. Another small, tiny, little, insignificant detail that he forgot to tell Ingrid. Accidentally.
Casamento? 4?
What? You didn't know? Really? That's so weird. She says she thought he was married twice. She's like, how can you get married 4 times and now you're single? There's something wrong with him.
E também tinha uma mulher, 3 noivas.
3 fiances.
Sim.
Okay, I have to assume the 3 fiancés or the 3 engagements were on top of the actual marriages, which is insane. He goes, it's a good thing I never married those other girls, otherwise I would have been divorced 8 times, right? Like that's actually gonna make her feel better. She's trying to stay light and says, you've never told me any of these things. And he goes, I'm an open book. All you have to do is ask. And she's like, oh, okay, so it's up to me to find out all this information, huh?
Tu falou pra todas elas a idade certa? Todas?
Oh, so it was only me who you lied to about your age. And he says, I only lied on the internet because I didn't want some 50-year-old woman messaging me. And then it cuts to her interview and she's like, okay, wait. He told me that he didn't lie. Now he's telling me he intentionally lied because he didn't want to hook up with a grandma.
Mas você falou pra mim que ela não é bom com matemática. She's not good with math.
Don't get caught up in my ever-changing stories. You're just bad at math. This is on you, Ingrid. She's like, I don't think so. Don't put this on me. It's your responsibility to tell people your actual age. And he's making these stupid faces like some child.
The fact that Ingrid keeps judging me on my past shows that she's just not going to stop judging me.
Oh, yeah, Brian. Totally. You should break up with her. She's a horrible person. In fact, you know, she probably just hates people in wheelchairs. Moving on. Oh my gosh, finally we're with Sunny and Veah. I don't even know why they included these two. They had like a 3-minute clip.
You're letting it run us.
It is you, the one. You wanted to ruin everything.
I'm really surprised how many people were mad at Sunny in this situation. I don't know any healthy relationships where one of them has a best friend who's the opposite sex. I mean, it's not like they're casual friends. Rory and Veah are like bonded for life.
He was telling me I'm just a random guy over internet.
He's hurt that Veah wasn't standing up for him. It's like she was on Rory's side. So again, I don't blame Sunny one bit. I think if it was the other way around and it was Sunny who had a really, really close girlfriend, people would feel a little bit different.
When I told you to choose, you didn't even, you were confused.
No, I don't want to choose. That's it. I just don't want to choose.
Because you like him.
She's screaming, I just want you guys to be friends so we can put this drama behind us. He's like, if you want this drama to end, send him home.
I beg you, Veah, please. I can't take this anymore. It's too much for me.
He's telling her that he can't handle this. He doesn't want to keep getting hurt over and over. And she doesn't get it. It's like she wants the best of both worlds.
If it's like that, I'm okay. You just need to go home. That's what
Okay, and I choose you. I choose you.
He embraces her and they walk off together. Then it cuts to Veah saying it's not fair that he gave her an ultimatum. So I guess this madness is sure to continue in the next episode. I mean, in the next episode, Vanja will get asked out by a married man.
I'm in a relationship, but we just opened it up.
Oh, never mind. He's not married. He's just in an open relationship. Adnan will take Tiger Lily swimming, and when she realizes she has to wear basically a wetsuit, she decides she doesn't like all the rules.
You don't have a choice.
Magda will continue pushing Joe about cheating, and will Niles end things with Matilda?
To be honest with you, I had a change of heart.
Faith and Loren will go out to a club, but Loren ruins it by flirting with another woman.
My best friend saw you flirting someone else.
I don't think so.
Are you fooling with me?
I likely will not be able to get part 2 of the tell-off or the other way out until this weekend just because of the holidays. I hope you guys have a beautiful Thanksgiving. For those of you who are not American, you should have a cheat day on Thursday and just eat whatever tickles your fancy, like cheddar broccoli soup. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!
Perfect.